Let's go, baby.
They got the broom out. I see you. You got the broom out and everything.
Ooh, it
You
feels
ready?
good to beat the Mavs. It really does.
I
You know,
see. I see. You mad excited. It's
I
crazy.
love beating the Lakers and I love beating the Mavs. And
Uh,
the Mavs, that's 11 in a row, if anyone's asking.
yeah, no
And
one's asking, but I know you're gonna share that. 11-0. That's a good thing.
feels
Good for
good.
y'all.
Feels good.
Good for
I
y'all.
feel a sweep still coming. A lot of people that had the Mavs winning in 7 are backtracking now, which is very typical. We got a lot of, flip flop pancakes, in sports media nowadays. And that's just the reality. But I know Suns basketball, and we've been doing it all year. And it was a very intense, exciting game. But we just kept going and we just played good Suns basketball. And I understand the problem nowadays, I feel, with a lot of people who view basketball is that they feel like defense isn't very sexy, so they don't really talk about it that much unless
Hmm.
whenever you bring up the defensive player of the year. And the Suns were in a bit of a pickle yesterday because both our big men got in foul trouble early,
Yes, the
you know?
Bismack Biyombo was on the floor. Just
Yeah.
couldn't.
And
Woo.
that's what's great. That's what's great about having a third option as a
Yeah,
center
yeah, yeah.
for the Suns.
He's
And that was a great pickup. Bismack, when paired with Chris Paul, isn't very far off from our other centers. Offensively, yeah, Ayton has a bigger bag, of course.
I'm about to
But I'm
say,
just
come on,
saying that
far
Bismack
off.
plays
Yeah,
well when paired with the point
he
guard.
plays his role. He
I could
plays
be
his role.
center playing with Chris Paul, and he's
Any,
gonna make me look good. That's what
oh
I'm
yeah,
saying.
Chris
He
Paul
just
makes
sets
that.
you up perfectly. It's very easy. So that having
Plus,
him there as a big body is really,
plus,
really great for us.
yeah, Chris Paul was plus 29 when he was on the floor. I
Yeah.
think -2 when he wasn't. Booker and Chris Paul had incredible second halves. And I agree with you. I think the people that were picking the Mavs to win this series in 7 did not watch the Suns at all
Right.
season. You just watch highlights.
Yep.
You didn't watch their sets. You just watched the good parts that they put, a 2-minute highlight clip they put on
Mhm.
NBA, or that 15-minute clip they put on YouTube. You didn't watch the full game. You didn't really take a deep dive.
Right.
And they just a product of your environment. They play at Phoenix. They're not on TV all the time. They're not an LA team. They're not a New York team and things like that. So you
Right.
don't
And
get
when
to
you
see
look
them
at
all
the
the
stat
time.
sheet, when you
You
look at
don't,
the stat sheet, you see
yeah.
that's all, not really nothing really pops out that much. I mean, Chris Paul led the NBA in assists, and Devin Booker puts up good numbers. But with Suns basketball, they spread the ball so much that nothing really pops out like Luka in his stat sheet, because they don't have any other offensive threats on that team. They got Jalen Brunson and Spencer Dinwiddie. Of course, Luka is going to shine on the stat sheet because he's putting up 30 every night because he has to, because they
And
have
this
nothing
is
else.
second, yeah, and this is second game where not Jason Kidd. This is second game where Reggie Miller at the end of the game is like, the Mavs have it in them. They played 36 good minutes,
Right.
and they just didn't play the last 8 minutes very well. Or they played the first game, he was like, the last 8 minutes, they played really well. And
Yeah.
he kept saying, Jason Kidd has something for them to build on. They can build on this. They
I'm so
can
tired of Reggie
I'm
Miller,
like,
honestly.
they have some film they can build on. They just have to do it for 48 minutes. Bro, obviously, everybody has to play 48 minutes. It's a 48-minute game. You got to play the whole game. It's not, this is what
Dude,
it
it
is.
drives me crazy. I mean, like
It's just,
Reggie Miller is always on Luka, and he loves the Mavs. And I understand that a lot of people want the underdog to win, but just can you give us some flowers here? Like, can you give Booker some flowers in respect to how he locked up Luka there at the end of this was the second quarter?
yeah,
And
yeah.
what did Reggie Miller have to say? He said literally like nothing. He was like silent. It's just like, come on, man. Like, just give
And
us
then,
a break here. Like, let us, celebrate. Let us, take the victory home. We're the clear favorites here. We're gonna sweep the
yeah, for
Mavs
sure. And
and
then
ISO all day on Luka. ISO,
yes.
baby.
Oh my goodness. It's one of those things like, you can't be no superstar.
Hmm.
And that's where he needs to get back into the lab this summer. And Luka
Yeah.
needs to work on that defense.
Need to get them
For
concrete out of them shoes.
for you to be the superstar and they're
Mm.
hunting you out, the only last superstar for this to happen to is Steph Curry,
Yeah.
where teams will hunt you out and
Yeah.
make your team switch so they can have you on their star
Yeah.
because they will expose you because you can't guard their star.
Yeah.
That's not a good look. For you to be 6 something and they are having Landry Shamet come over and set the screen every single time because
Right.
you're guarding Landry Shamet because Landry don't really do too much but shoot. So
Yeah.
that's why they put you on him so you can guard Chris Paul. And then Chris Paul was just barbecue chicken
Right.
every single time. Boop, boop,
It was
in and out, little sputter, pop up, fade away, wide open shot. Those are wide open.
I'd argue that Steph is a better defender than Luka is,
Oh,
honestly.
for sure. I'm not
Yeah.
saying that. This is early Steph. This is like I
Mm,
think this is pre Kevin Durant Steph that
right.
people were searching him out. And
So
this
I
is
don't want
why
to
I
hear
said
none of that GOAT stuff about Luka anymore. I don't want to
that's
hear about how he's the greatest player in the series anymore. There's two halves of the game,
that's
offense
what he
and
is.
defense.
Yes,
And
both
I
sides.
know no one likes to focus on defense,
Defense.
but that's a huge liability on the Mavs roster. It's both Luka and Brunson. Take your pick. We're
And
gonna
then
post up both y'all. We're gonna ISO both y'all. So either way, we're getting our
leave it at
bucket.
this. Jason Kidd at the end of the game press conference said Jason Kidd said need other players to step up other than Luka, bro.
Mm,
Hey Jason, you just entered your name into a list of Mav coaches that have been there since Luka's been there. That's been saying the same thing. They've
mm,
all said the same thing. We need other players to step their game up to help Luka, bro. That's been the Mavs' problem for the years.
right.
Porzingis didn't work. Now you got Brunson. Everybody was talking that all that stuff. People were coming
Yeah.
to me. Kieran, I'm just saying your name now. I had this full on argument with this dude. He's like, "Oh, Brunson's gonna have 20 tonight," and that was game one. This man has 22 points in 2 games. You know
Since when
why?
did Brunson become such an amazing player?
Let's not take a deep dive in. I'm not. I don't. He's not. You've been saying this for a long time.
He's like a
He's
career 11 points per game shooter. Like what in what world? Just because he had one good series against the Jazz, everyone has got him on like as far as like top 10, postseason players right now. And I'm
and
just
I
like, where are
And I
you?
also, but
What
that is
world?
also an example where Jason Kidd has to draw up other plays for other players. You can't always rely on
Mm,
Luka to get everybody involved. Jason Brunson had a great first series. It's because Luka didn't play the first few games. So he got more, all the Luka plays were the Jalen Brunson plays. So that's why Jalen Brunson scored more points in the first series. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
It's obvious. Luka came back and became Luka again.
right.
And he went back to being 11 points a game guy. You gotta get your players involved. You can't just tell your players to get involved. You gotta draw some up to get them going. And that's
Yeah,
what the Suns do really well. They get everybody going at their time. Hey, Devin Booker, third quarter is yours. Fourth quarter is Chris Paul. First half, DeAndre go crazy. You know what I'm saying? That's what they do. That is a nice, solid breakdown. It works every single time.
right.
Next. But that's the thing. People were picking the Mavs. I think people showed the Miami Heat more respect than they did the Suns against the Mavs. I think the Sixers have a chance? Absolutely not. Even with Embiid coming back, it's over. The series is done. They might get one game back with Embiid, just to feed the Philly fans a healthy, happy-go-lucky, we didn't get swept type of thing. But I think this is over in 5 if the Sixers are lucky to get him back. If he don't come back, they done in 4.
Yeah. I mean, it's all about if that injury on his face is lingering and if he gets hit again, that it causes more issues. I don't want to discredit Joel Embiid because he's amazing, and I think
Amazing.
he's a better player than Bam.
Oh,
Um,
sure.
just I think one of the biggest problems with the Sixers is their defense. I mean, you look at their roster without Joel Embiid, and it's a nightmare on defense. You got DeAndre Jordan, Tobias Harris, Danny Green, James Harden, Maxey. All those players can't play defense. So again, this is going to be a huge highlight for this show. Is defense matters. It
Defense wins
really does.
championship.
It does.
Defense wins championship. It's something it's funny thing. Throughout the season, people say that from time to time. There's an argument. Like, what? The defense really win championships? And then we get closer to the end, semifinals, conference finals, we start hearing people say defense wins championships because it's a real thing.
Right. It's a skill.
Offense puts butts in the seats. Defense wins championships. That is how it's been forever, and forever it will always be.
Right.
Simple as that. You know,
And
the
it's a
Heat play
skill not
really good
only
defense.
to it's a skill not only to, get steals and blocks, but also to not foul and to create space. And whenever you have Luka trying to dive at you, or you have other players trying to dive at you and create contact and get you to foul them, it's a very good skill to maintain space and still contest the shot. So it's not something that like everyone can do, and a lot of players struggle, especially like Luka, James Harden, and all these stars that are like putting forth all this effort on the offensive end, but then they become a liability on the defensive end. So
Yeah,
ISO all day, baby.
ISO all day. And we also want to talk about off the court. You know, JJ Redick had some things to say. Bad Dog came on first take and was saying some wild stuff. So
Yeah.
we'll just add that in and play that for y'all if you haven't heard it yet.
Has towards athletes, and I have a real problem with that. Specifically with Draymond, the idea that America is tired. You do realize the guy has a very, very popular podcast that he hosts where he talks himself for a majority of the episode, and people listen to that. He signed a talent deal with Turner because people want to hear what Draymond has to say. The reason they want to hear what Draymond has to say is because just like in this press conference, he is real, authentic, and unfiltered.
Yeah, I mean,
And
here's the thing, dear white people, is stop, stop with the shut up and dribble, shut up and play. That is a trigger for a lot of people, and what you're doing is you're objectifying these players. You're saying that, hey, you're my entertainment. You do what I want you to do. These are individuals. These are people. They all have their own personalities. Like JJ Redick was mentioning, a lot of what he does, he brings energy. He brings his personality into things.
yep.
People, you can disagree with him. I will agree that Draymond does sometimes play the victim whenever it comes to the fouls he gets versus what other players get. Some of it's justifiable, some of it is not. That's not the point. You can argue with him on that, but whenever you're telling people to shut up and play, that's just dumb because you're just objectifying these players. Each player has their own personality and they bring something unique to the table. And it's important for us to realize that we're here to watch them and not like we're not telling them what to do. We don't sit here and tell producers of TV shows or movies to make what we want. We're here to get entertained by what they produce, what the outcome of their ability is.
Yeah.
So just telling them to shut up is a real no. And
Yeah.
please, white
I mean,
people, stop saying that shit.
yeah, dear white people, dear people that say shut up and dribble is the most ridiculous thing in the world.
Yeah,
Hey man, do we tell you to do your job and don't do nothing else?
right.
To not enjoy life, to not
Yeah,
play. If you're a pro, what you do, and most of these basketball players, all these basketball players are, it takes a lot of hard work to get to where they got. You know what I'm
right.
saying? And they have the right to talk about how they want and how they want to talk about things. And the thought process that people were tired of Draymond Green, stop it. For one, let's put it like this: he's a great basketball mind, one of the smartest people. You know, I've read multiple basketball books where they all rave about how smart he is. People talk about how LeBron knows everybody's sets and everybody's things and know what somebody's going to be or somebody's going to be on the floor. That's Draymond. Draymond does that
Mm,
same thing. He knows exactly where everybody's at all times. And secondly, like Jay said, he got a podcast. He got to deal with TNT. I think so a lot of people want to see what he has to say. And sometimes you have to be polarizing. Sometimes that
mm,
makes you as great as you are as an individual on and off the court is that people have to hate you.
mm,
And it's kind of a cool, the thing about having all that hate is that some of those times the people that hate all the time will agree with some of your things because it is what it is.
mm.
Sometimes you're just right. You're just good at what you do. You say the right things and things like that. So Draymond, yes, like you said, he usually is really telling you how it is. Like if he's wrong, he'll say he's wrong. If he doesn't feel like he's wrong, if he doesn't feel like he's wrong, that's just
Right,
right.
right,
So you got to deal with it. But to tell somebody to shut up and dribble, stop it. All right.
right. Do you think
No,
if Draymond was on the Celtics, Mad Dog would have that same feeling? Probably not.
probably not, man. Look
Yeah,
at that. Everything changes when somebody's wearing that green. Yuck.
right. Yeah.
Ugh. So the last thing,
Yeah.
I don't know if we can get to it. Can we get to it?
I'll be
I
quick.
don't know. Ooh, let's be quick. Let's be quick about it.
I
So
love these ranking like pyramids
Yeah,
because
and
it
yeah,
always irks me a lot because
uh-huh.
people. I really want to know who make these, and for this one in particular, Nick Wright, who I disagree with probably 70% of the time, but he does have great points and he's very fun to watch. So I'll give him credit to that. I don't really
Yeah.
have an issue with the top 3 rows in a sense. Like,
Okay.
I
Me
think the top 3 rows are okay. I'd argue that Booker or Tatum might be on that those top 3 rows. But my
But
problem lies
hold
with
on for
the
a second.
bottom.
Just for people for listening to the podcast, we are doing Nick's player pyramid, his playoff pyramid. Giannis is at the top. Luka, CB3 is second row. Steph, Embiid, Ja's third row. Tatum, Booker, Butler, Drew Holiday is fourth row. Poole, Draymond, Maxey, Bam, Middleton is fifth row, and last row is Harden, Brunson, Jackson Jr., Jaylen Brown, DeAndre Ayton, and Bridges.
Yeah, my problem with this is near the bottom 2 rows.
Yes.
I continue to believe that Ayton doesn't get any credit for what he's doing. You know, he's putting up numbers, top 3 center in the NBA. I repeat, top 3 center in the NBA. It goes Jokic, Joel, Ayton. Ayton has been the anchor on both ends of the floor, and he's been putting up numbers pretty much his whole career.
Yeah.
So having Tyrese Maxey above him, having Jordan Poole above him, and having Bam above him. Ayton has had better career numbers over Bam every single year. You know, so every year he's putting up better numbers than Bam. So I don't really understand that. As well as Jalen Brunson, why is he even in this? Where's Clay? Where's Clay Thompson? So Jalen Brunson,
Okay.
again, has
I'm gonna have to
2
stop you on that.
good games.
I don't think Clay should be on here. That's one thing. I'll start with that. I
Okay, well
think
Brunson should
Brunson.
be off.
I mean, if he's doing this playoff off of just the first round, I
I'll put
agree.
Siakam over Brunson.
You think who?
Siakam over Brunson, no doubt.
Pascal Siakam?
What other Siakam you know?
Yeah, I think these are the teams left. You know what I'm saying? For this left. I think he made this after the first round. So
okay.
this is the premise of this is every team, guys that are left in the playoffs right
I
now.
put Desmond Bane over Brunson. Boom. There you go.
And I agree with that.
Okay.
That is the one thing I was about to say. Desmond, the fact that the Memphis Grizzlies only have one guy on here is not good. Like,
Yeah.
I think DeAndre, I agree with you.
No,
DeAndre needs. I think Ayton needs to be higher. I think Poole needs to be. I think Poole should be where he at is good. I think Poole, Draymond, it should be Poole, Draymond, Ayton, Bam, Middleton, and Maxey should be at the bottom row. But everything else, like I said, the other top 3-4 rows, I'm cool with. You know, Booker got hurt first round. He didn't really have a great first round. And then Embiid had a great first round. Ja did, Steph did, Luka. That second, I think
got
Luka.
what he got, like 30.5, but it's okay. Yeah, I guess he didn't have a great first round.
One game, bro. That's why he's fourth on the row. You know what I'm saying? He was hurt.
Yeah.
I agree that Luka should be down 1 and Embiid should be up 1?
Yes.
In the second row, because Luka also didn't play all of the first round, all the games in the first round.
Right.
I also agree. So I think that's where I feel. I think Embiid should be on the second row. But yeah, that's it. That's it. Yep. That's the pot. I mean, what's it? We're gonna get on out of here. We gotta get back to it. The boy over here, Josh, gotta get back to the work.
Yes, sir.
I gotta get this baby girl ready.
Let's go.
And help out. He's so excited for the sleep. Appreciate y'all watching. Appreciate y'all listening. Subscribe on YouTube. Chasing Chips on YouTube. Chasing Chip Pod on Twitter. Arena of the Mind. Myself, David Joshua _. Check us out on IG. We got stuff is on there popping and everything like that. And we will see y'all. When do y'all play again? Dang, y'all play again Friday. So we might see y'all Saturday morning. Be on here. Shoot, we might go live since it be Saturday morning.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy your life. Enjoy everything.
Peace.
Go Clippers.